Am I the asshole? For playing loud annoying music specifically when my roommate was having sex? She and her boyfriend are really loud. If this was during a reasonable hour then I'd be better with it, but this is literally midnight to 3 AM, not for all 3 hours but starts any time in this window. This keeps me awake when I have to work morning shifts and get to work for 5 AM most days, so I really need to be able to sleep through the night, which she knows, and even with earplugs they still manage to wake me. I tried wearing earplugs, then headphones, neither worked, so I've asked them to keep it down more than once. Last night they were being exceptionally loud, and when I asked them to keep it down, she insisted that I couldn't hear anything. I took out my phone and Bluetooth speaker, put the speaker in a bookshelf that is up against our shared wall, and played whatever songs I could think of to ruin the mood. The songs included, but were not limited to, I Just Had Sex and Finest Girl by Lonely Island, Banana Phone, We Should Definitely Not Have Sex Right Now from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, and a few others. About half an hour went by and she leaves her room and pounds on my door telling me to keep it down. The walls are paper thin so she can hear the music the same way I can hear the moaning. Today at breakfast she said we'll keep it down from now on. You don't have to be such a dick about it. I thought we'd be able to laugh it off because they were jokey songs that I picked, clearly for a laugh, and I figured she'd see the funny side, but then she said the thing about me not having to be a dick about it, and now I feel like a dick. Am I the asshole? Edit. Please stop suggesting I record audio of them going at it. It's weird, she's my friend, and it's just really a step too far. Info, they've been doing this for maybe 10 weeks, give or take? I've asked her to stop at least once, sometimes twice, per week since he started coming over, so roughly a dozen requests to keep it down over nearly 3 months. Further info, no one else can hear us. There's no flat above us, no one in the flat below us. The side of us with the bedroom side has no flat next to it, and the nearest neighbors are on our other side with about 30 feet and 4 walls between them and us. Am I the asshole? If I don't invite my morbidly obese brother to my wedding? While talking wedding ideas, my fiancé and I realized a problem. My childhood was filled with abuse and neglect. My brother will never be able to live on his own, as he is mentally challenged. In the last 10 years, he has become morbidly obese. When I say morbidly obese, the last time I was told his weight, he was 634 pounds. He has visibly gained since then. He cannot be weighed on a normal scale. He has to have ultrasounds to get IVs, he breaks any furniture he sits on, he can't control himself around food, he can't eat at restaurants because nowhere has seating that he fits on. If it were just his weight, it wouldn't matter. But he is so disgusting, it's repulsive to be around him. This makes me sound like TA. But he goes weeks without showers, refuses to brush his teeth, has yeast infections on his body, he is sometimes incontinent due to his size, and he cannot wipe properly. Most people cannot be in the same room as him because of his smell. I spent my entire childhood and teenage years taking care of him or trying to. All the abuse and neglect, I was the one it fell on. However, as we got older my mother decided I was no longer in charge of him. He started gaining all the weight, I'd get punished for trying to control his food, I'd get punished for telling him to shower or clean after himself. My mother and I had countless fights as she was letting him spiral out of control. I even tried getting social services involved. So here we are present day. I now live 1,700 miles away from him and my mother, but we are flying back to their area for our wedding. I just can't stand the thought of him being at my reception. How could he even be there? We have no idea what kind of venue we want yet, but we would most likely have to make it fit for him. I would have to buy him new clothes, which are expensive in his size. I would have to come over the day of the reception to make sure he's clean. And the most selfish reason, which very well might make me TA, is I don't want all of my friends and fiancé's family to be distracted by him. Everywhere he goes people stare, and I know this would be no exception, especially considering fiancé's family has never met him and has no idea what he's like. It might make me a terrible person, but I don't want to spend my special day watching everyone gawk at my brother, because honestly you don't see a 700+ pound man every day. I feel terrible for not wanting to invite him. I love him, I looked after him my whole childhood. I'm afraid he'll be crushed if I say he can't come, and I wouldn't even know how to tell him this. Would to gently tell him it wouldn't work out for him to be there? Edit. In a comment below I replied explaining his extreme behavior. Edit. I hadn't thought of another smaller gathering that would work better for my brother, but lots of people are suggesting great things and we are currently planning a separate celebration that's accommodating to him specifically. Am I the asshole? For refusing to communicate with my younger sister? Bit of a background story, my sister is 5 years younger than me and has recently turned 19. Shortly after she was born, my parents divorced and caused a heap of emotional troubles for me. I was 5 and didn't fully understand. We used to get along okay until she was about 10 years old when she figured out that she had mum wrapped around her little finger and basically got anything she wanted by throwing a tantrum. Around the same time, she started to get real bitchy, making snarky comments about me/my friends, pretty normal for a child, I'm aware. She's had problems with making and keeping friends throughout school because of the way she treats other people, talking behind their backs etc., which has also caused her to develop an eating problem. Anyway, I moved back into Mum's place 3 years ago after a bad breakup and I was told that the only condition to me living there was to be civil with my sister. I agreed and thought that maybe she had matured since I had last lived there, but no. She was still making snarky comments about me, steal my things and just generally be a bitch to me. I didn't want to say anything to Mum about it in fear that I'd be kicked out for not getting along with her, so I decided to just give her the cold shoulder and not respond to anything she said to me. I even told her this and told her that I wasn't surprised that she can't keep friends. I have since moved out and have been asked on several occasions why I haven't accepted her friend request on Facebook, to which I told my parents that it's my Facebook and she's not my friend and I'm not under any obligation to accept it just because we're related. Both Mum and Dad are upset that we don't get along, so one day I decided to accept the friend request and give her one more opportunity to be a decent human being. The first few months have been okay. She has sent me some memes and job suggestions. What has really got to me is that recently, she went and saw Dad for Father's Day. I didn't get to see him because I'm working night shifts, and she sends me a photo of a mug she got him with her picture on it with the text "my favorite child." I'm not sure if she realizes just how much that gets to me because of all the favoritism that she got as a child, but could someone really be that blind to other people's emotions? I can't really ask my parents to tell her to stop because well, she's an adult now and they never took action when I brought this up in the past. TL, Doctor, sister has been an absolute bitch to me most of her life and my parents are upset that I don't like her. I've given her several opportunities to change but she hasn't. Am I the asshole? For talking to my sister's husband, who is currently incarcerated, regularly? I feel as if I have gotten myself in quite a pickle here. Quick rundown goes as follows. Sister's husband is in jail for hit and run. To make matters worse, he was also driving on a revoked license. Hitting someone's motorcycle and drove off is what it entailed. Now, none of my family is speaking to him. My sister at the moment doesn't want to deal with him. The reason he was driving on a revoked is due to DUI. From my understanding he has been clean for quite some time. Basically I felt bad. After she had told me he felt bad but she did not want to speak with him. We were civil and friendly towards each other, and I believe everyone should have someone to speak to. What I thought would turn into a one-time thing, has turned into a few-day-a-week ordeal. Of just, talking about whatever and about life in general. He would ask about my sister frequently, and my attempts to get her to speak to him have failed so far. They have spoken but she is still so angry with him. Well, we've been talking very often. My mother recently confronted me, and says it's not appropriate what I am doing. Even though it really is just friendly talk. Although our talks have been becoming more frequent. Should I tell him I can't talk to him anymore? I'm not going to act like I have not weirdly enjoyed it at all. Am I the asshole? For not giving my daughter money for school lunch? My daughter is 12, and just started her last year of middle school. Already, even though she's only been in school for a week and a half, we're having an issue that we had last year as well. I prepare all of my daughter's lunches, or I will prep several ingredients for things and she can sort of assemble her own lunch. They're healthy, nutritious, and never made up of things she doesn't like. But towards the end of last year and now she has been basically throwing a fit once a week about how she's tired of having her own lunch and she wants to buy lunch. I looked into the school's lunch program, and while it's not as good as a homemade meal, her school has many lunch programs you can sign your kid up for, including one that is pretty dang diverse and healthy. I told her I was fine with signing her up for the lunch program if she'd like. Nope. She wants to have some extra money so she can buy junk, and she claims that there is a huge culture of trading food and no one wants hers and she feels left out when everyone else has pizza. The school has little separate kiosks for junk food that are open at various points in the week, and I know if I gave her money for the whole week, she'd just eat that stuff or get candy from the school shop. I told her if she wants a little extra money she can do some more around the house, then use that for pizza or something once or twice a week, but that if she does that she can't have as much junk during the weekends. No go. She gets money for grade improvements or anytime she learns a new skill, and she also has a snack allowance if she goes to the store with her mother or me. We're basically in exchange for being useful at the grocery store. She has a set amount of money out of the grocery budget for the week just for snacks for herself. We do tax unhealthy snacks a bit more so she doesn't blow it all on candy or something. Point is, she could use her own money though I still wouldn't allow it daily. I also asked my older child who went to the same middle school and was there with her for his last year and her first if he's ever noticed any bullying of her about this stuff. I don't trust him to be observant enough to know if she's being bullied, but he said no one cares what other people are eating and he doesn't know of anyone getting bullied for snacks. He also mentioned that when he was there, if she had a problem with someone, she came to him and she never mentioned anything about snacks. Of course, that was only the first year, and she started complaining the second year, so who knows. Her mother disagrees with me and is worried I'm going to give her an eating disorder, but I feel like if the only eating disorder I give my kid is one where she know how to make healthy, nutritious meals, then I'm fine with that. Even if she pushes back and eats unhealthily in college or something, at least she'll have good habits and the know how to get it back if she needs. Ida? Edit. A lot of focus on the tax at the grocery store. First, it's not an actual tax, which is why I put it in quotation marks. It's more like, we say you can get approximately $X worth of snacks while we're here, but if it's only candy/processed food, then you can only spend $X $5, or whatever. We don't even give her any money in these scenarios, nor make it an exact amount she can spend, and certainly don't make her count it back to us or take the money back as an actual tax. Most times we don't even bring it up since she usually gets a good mixture of snacks with a treat or two.